What's up, YouTube? It's me, it's your boy D, and I'm back with another one. And tonight, I'm here to do the 6th episode of my 3rd and final season entitled Lost and Found. So without further ado, ain't nothing to it but to do it. So let's dive into it. Y'all, so we are here for episode 6 of my 3rd and final season entitled Lost and Found. And man, let me tell you something. This episode right here is the episode where all the bullshit started, in my opinion. In my opinion, this is the episode right here where my relationship with production and everything else changed probably for the worse. And I started to get more and more pissed off day by day and more vocal than I had ever been before on social media and everything. And you are gonna see why right here. Cause this gonna be a 3-segment episode with a whole lot of fucking tea and a whole lot of shit that I gotta show and explain and talk about, alright? So this one gonna be a treat too, just like the last one was. So, this is going to be a 3-segment episode, and we're going to start with segment number 1 right here. So, I ain't even going to waste nobody's time. We're going to go ahead and watch this. I'm going to react to it, come back and do some first-time reveals, and I'm going to drop some tea, all right? So, let's get to it. Nice ass Airbnb.
Hey, baby. How you like your coffee?
Dark and sweet.
Damn right.
I know that's right.
No, that's right.
Can I have another coffee, please?
I don't want to leave you, man. I hate like this.
Oh, here we go.
I know.
I would marry your ass tomorrow.
I just don't want to rush anything. That's always been an issue in my life, is rushing things.
Right.
I just have to come up as much as I can to...
You notice something, right? You notice something? Pay
I
attention.
know, but really, it's going to be hard saving up for the move and making all that
Check
back
the
and
net.
forth travel.
Check
I
the
mean,
net.
things are going to be really tight for a while.
Let me take care of that.
How are you going to tell your mom that you're going to move to Mississippi?
I'm going to say, Mom, I'm moving to Mississippi.
Exactly.
Are you going to say it as you run?
I have not told my mom at all that Lindsay's out.
Look at that.
My mom ain't ready to hear it yet, and I ain't ready to tell her yet.
Right?
What about Brenda and Miley? Like, am I ever going to get to meet them?
Well, yeah, eventually. I'm
What-
getting close with Miley again.
What's eventually, Lynn?
I gotta have me and her time before I introduce you into the mix. I'm really bummed out about him leaving, but right now I have to focus on myself.
Right.
Ready?
Sure you do.
I really need to get a job, and I need to figure out the best way to get back into my daughter's life.
I hear you.
So not this weekend coming up, but next weekend I'll come back.
I just don't want you to do too much trying to take care of me or whatever and trying to get down here to see me.
Beating around the bush, man.
Sorry.
Ah.
You good?
Nah, I guess I gotta let you go, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at this fucking clown here.
Make sure you check in. Let me know you get home safe, okay?
See, when he creep behind bushes, don't nobody talk shit.
Don't be texting and driving. Use your cruise control and wear your seatbelt.
My time to go is my time to go.
Right?
Love you.
Look at this clown.
Hey.
Hey.
I'm hesitant. I don't want to leave her, we're playing. It's hard for me to say I trust anybody, but I gave her my heart. So, yeah, I guess I trust her with my heart right now.
Lord have mercy. Look at that bullshit there. I ain't gonna lie, that was hard to look at for a variety of different reasons. And then they show this fucking clown at the end. Anyways, look, I'm getting too ahead of myself already, all right? So anyways, that was segment number 1, and that's just the beginning, because, man, I got some shit to get into with this one, all right? So I'm going to stop this right here. We're going to go ahead and go to the first time reveal for that particular segment right there, because there's a lot to unpack with it, and we're going to press forward, all right? So let's get it. All right, y'all, so we are back for first time reveal for that segment right there, segment number 1 of the 6th episode of my 3rd season, Lost and Found. And that was a hard one to look at. I ain't even gonna lie. That's why I ain't all that enthusiastic about it, because I just gotta dive into this shit. Just like the name of my channel, dive into it, right? There's a reason why I said this is the episode where I just started to get pissed off, because, you know, it kind of starts right here. Not necessarily, but kind of. So let me just get right into it. Now, if you've been tracking from the last episode, the last review of the last episode that I just did, you will know, you know, because I ain't about to go back into that whole spew. If you want to listen to it, if you want to get the tea and get caught up, if you ain't caught up yet, go back to that video and watch it. Watch the footage that I showed, the real footage, and you'll get an understanding of where we're at if you're not already there. Because it leads to this segment right here, all right? But anyways, to give a little summary, after me and Lindsay had sex in that Airbnb and did that scene, we left and went back to my hotel where we were actually staying at. And Lindsay got sick, you know what I'm saying? She got real sick to the point where I had to take her to the ER, which I showed on that footage on the last video. We found out she had COVID. And at that point on, filming stopped. And then I was basically quarantined with Lindsay for those 5 days, which is also in that footage that I showed, where basically, you know, I took care of her all those days. Then I had to leave. And then basically that is when Lindsay and me pretty much started to fall out. That's when I kept trying to, you know, get back up there every so often. And I got nothing but pushback from both production and Lindsay each time. So, you know, and then further along the line, that is when I seen that fucking video on Snapchat of her and Blaine kissing. And I lost my shit and, you know, posted what I posted in my Instagram story. Shit went haywire, and we basically fell out, all right? That was also the same time frame where me and Cece started talking again, or basically started talking and getting close, and I pretty much let her know what was going on, and I let her know that, hey, I still have to go down there and film with this girl. Because even though I had done found all that out and I confronted Lindsay and cussed her out and I said you was going to fucking wait until we got on camera to tell me that shit, because that's exactly what she was going to do. Whether it was them telling her to do that or she was just going to do it herself, that's what she was going to do. I just happened to find out beforehand. You know what I'm saying? So me and her had it out at this point, cussed each other out, told each other we hated each other, this, that, and the third. But I still had an obligation to fulfill because we didn't get to finish filming. So I had to go down there and complete the season, basically. And Cece knew that. And she even knew it was still going to be some feelings there. So that's why she was like, I know you got to go down there and do what you got to do. And it's probably going to be some emotions involved. But if you come back single, I'll be here. You know what I mean? So this had to be around March 9th through 12th-ish time frame of 2022 when I had to go back down there and film again. Now, right before that, I did end up having a conversation with Lindsay, and we were kind of cordial and, you know, to a point where we knew we were adults and had to work together. And honestly, it was still some emotion there, so we tried to be cordial a little bit and got, you know, started talking a little bit, but it wasn't the same, you feel me? And then production came up here to Virginia and we shot a few scenes up here, which you'll see later on throughout this season as I review it. And then it was there after that I had to drive back down to Mississippi to continue filming with Lindsay. Now here's the thing. Production flew here, but I had to drive down to Mississippi because my car was in those scenes that we originally shot. So we gotta make it look like I never left there, which means I gotta have my car down there. So I don't have no choice but to drive. Now imagine if my car would have been broke down by that point, because this is like almost 2 months later. Then what? You feel me? Like, what excuse would they have came up with for that? I always wondered that. But anyways, because I had to drive, and again, they didn't pay for it. Like the last time I had went down there, they were supposed to pay for it and they didn't. I had to pay for it on my own dollar. And this time around, all they did was advance me some of my own damn money that I was going to make from the season anyways. Because that's what they do. They'll give you your own money before they give you theirs, right? So then by the time the episode airs, I don't get paid because I done already got paid. You feel me? But anyways, I shoot my few scenes up here. Then I have to drive back down there to Mississippi. Now, as I'm driving down there, production knows that now me and Lindsay have done kind of talked a little bit. So they're like, do not see Lindsay when you go down there. Like, basically, don't meet up with her until we can get it on camera. Now, I had no intention on meeting up with Lindsay at that point. Like, we had talked, and I did leave the door open. And I said, I will be here, I'll be here. Basically saying that if you decide you want to get alone and come see me, I'll be here. Because truth be told, fuck that dude. Like, I never cared about him, and you know what I'm saying? Truth be told, he you know what I'm saying, interfered in my territory. So at that point, I didn't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? So I did leave that door open, but she didn't come, so it was cool. Actually, and I was there a day earlier because production didn't get there until the next day. So because I had that free day down there, that's actually when I went to go and meet Angela from the show. Because, before Rachel, Angela was my all-time favorite cast member on the show. And, she reached out to me on Instagram because she knew I was coming down to film. And she wanted to meet me. And I went to go meet Angela. I went to Grenada, where she's from. Sat at the bar with her, shot the shit with her. She's cool as hell. She's a real cool, older woman. We got recognized by a few people in there. It was nice chatting it up with Angela and griping about production because she was just as frustrated with them as I was. You feel me? And then I left and went back to Corinth the same night and waited until the next day to have to see Lindsay and continue filming. So then the next day, I go over to this Airbnb that they made it look like I bought. And I got the same outfit on because we got to make it look like, hey, I never left, right? So same outfit, everything. Now, as I walk into this Airbnb, because I'm walking back and forth because I'm bringing my Jordans and everything that I had basically had in there, I had to bring it back to make it appear that I never left. As I'm walking back and forth, I didn't realize that Lindsay was actually in the kitchen because my mind wasn't really focused on it. I was just trying to hurry up and get the stuff in there to get this over with because I knew it was going to be hard, all right? I didn't realize that Lindsay was in the kitchen and, you know what I'm saying, and she was very, very, very nervous to see me. I remember that, like, she was very nervous to have to see me in person. That's the reason why she didn't come out and try to meet me by herself and when, you know what I'm saying? And basically what happened was when I went in there, when I went back outside to my car, right before I walked back in there, the producer stopped me. The producer that was there stopped me and she said, hey, before we get started filming, I want you to go and sit with Lindsay and just catch up. You guys sit and talk for a minute so it won't be so awkward when you guys get on camera. I said, okay, cool. So Lindsay was sitting in the living room area of this Airbnb, very nervous. She was balled up, just sitting there, kind of looking down. She had that French braid in the back of her head that she has on the scene. I could tell she was nervous. And truth be told, my ass was kind of nervous too, because this was my first time having a face-to-face with her since I had seen that bullshit and since we had gotten into it. So, yeah, it was nerve-wracking for the both of us. But I sat down in there and we talked. You know what I'm saying? Like, I tried to make it as less awkward as possible, basically. So I was cordial with her. I said, hey, you know, what's up? How you been? All this, that, and the third. I was telling her about, you know, the road trip down here and how I almost got into it. You know, we were just, for a minute, we were laughing it up, and it was almost as if nothing had happened. And I just asked her, you gonna be all right? And she was, yeah, I'll be fine, you know. I just wanted to get through it, man. Like, I really, really did. So then they got to a point where, okay, it's time to get started. So they told Lindsay that she needs to go upstairs into the Airbnb, into the room that we were at, and change into whatever it was that she had on after we had sex, basically, which was her little booty shorts and her sports bra and all that type of jazz. So she goes upstairs to change, and I'm just kind of sitting there for a minute. And it's taking her a while to come back down. And then eventually they tell me to go upstairs and change also into what I had on, which was my drawers and my white beater and this, that, and the third. So as I go upstairs to this room, Lindsay is in there on the bed, up underneath the covers, balled up in the fetal position, crying. And I pulled the covers off her and I said, you okay? What's wrong with you? And she was like, I don't think I'm strong enough to handle this right now and do this right now, because it was nerve-wracking for her to be there with me. I understood, you know what I mean? And she just, the emotions was getting to her, I guess, and she was, you know, having a little breakdown. And so I embraced her. I said, come here. And I hugged her and I said, listen, it's all right. It's hard for us both. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard for you, it's hard for me, but we gonna get through this. You know, I think I kissed her on the forehead or something, and I said, let's just get this over with, you feel me? And so then I get dressed, and then we get to the scene. As you can see, the scene begins with me downstairs asking her how she liked her coffee. And basically what there was is they had me downstairs in this Airbnb looking through the cabinets for something to cook. And they ain't hardly have shit in that Airbnb. They had like a box of Eggo waffles and no syrup. So they told me to get the Eggos and put that in the toaster and cook. I'm glad they took that scene out, because I was like, what the hell? Like, yeah. So then I go upstairs and we on the bed together. And I make this comment, man, I'd marry your ass tomorrow if I could. It was just a figure of speech. People took that shit so out of proportion. People took that as I really wanted to get married the next day. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with these folks? They're like, oh my God, he's so desperate to get married. I'm like, bruh, okay. But anyways, it was just a damn figure of speech. Get over yourselves. Jeez. Now, as I'm laying there talking with her, the reason why I was saying check the neck, the reason why I said in the last review I did, pay close attention to that hickey that was on Lindsay's neck when we had sex. Because now, if you look at this scene and you look at us in the bed together, first of all, if you compare the last episode to us in the bed together, you'll see that me and Lindsay are hugged up on each other, right? Now you get to this episode, which is supposed to be the next day, but you look at this episode, me and Lindsay are separated in that bed. There's some space between us now. And if you look at her neck, there's no hickey there. That is because that scene was shot weeks later. You see what you tracking now? Ain't no hickey just gonna magically disappear within a day. There it is. And the reason why we're separated on that bed is because at this point, we are now broken up. So it's already awkward as it is for us to even be in the bed together. But we got to do this. So now while I'm talking about, hey, I want to come back down here as much as possible. That's because I had actually said that. And then her giving a little pushback, you know, is because now we're at the point where we're broken up. And she's using this stuff as an excuse now. Like, I don't know. I'm getting pissed off talking about it. All right. For real. But hey, we got to get through it. You know what I'm saying? So then she's like, you know, because she was, you know, I was like kind of trying to push. Like, I would tell her, man, I don't give a damn. I'll come work at a Target for a minute and live in a little studio apartment until I get me a place out there. But I come, you know what I'm saying? I was dead ass too. And she was. That's too fast. So she was right about that. And I give her props for that. You know, now the part she's like, what are you going to tell your mama? What are you going to tell your mama? And I said, I'm going to tell my mom I'm fucking moving to Mississippi. Fuck, like, yeah. Like, I got to get permission I'm a grown man. The hell? You know, in the part where I said my mama don't need to know that Lindsay's out yet, my mama knew Lindsay was out. She didn't know much about her because I really didn't talk to my mama about Lindsay that much, but she knew she was out. Of course she was going to know she was out. She did the New Year's special. She knew I was gone. But then again, no, I didn't even tell her I went to Mississippi that time. I just went. So yeah, that was on me, but whatever. Hey, I don't tell people how I operate. I just operate. That's how I move. All right. So yeah, then we do this scene where, you know, we getting dressed and I got this green shirt on and we leaving this Airbnb. Now, me and Lindsay took a picture with those outfits on, which is probably gonna pop up here soon. All right. Now you can see the separation between us on this picture. Every other picture that we took together, we're hugged up on each other. This particular picture right here, she's way spread apart from me, as you can see. That's because we were broken up. Now then, as we get to the part where, you know, I'm driving her. See, this is the part where I was really starting to get pissed off right now. As we get to the part where I'm driving her to Blaine's house, which that ain't his fucking house, okay? And this dude is creeping out behind the bushes watching, basically. Now, first of all, it pissed me off because I had already told production before I went down there that I don't want to do no more scenes with this dude. After I had done seen what I seen on Snapchat, I told him, don't put me in no more scenes with this dude. I don't want to do no more scenes with him, period. The producer that was there promised me, we won't put you in no more scenes with Blaine. So then why is this motherfucker appearing as soon as I drive up to drop this girl off? It's crazy. Anyways, but you can even see the emotion. You can see the emotion on my face, both of our faces during certain scenes. There's a scene on the bed where she laid her head up against me and pressed her head up against me. And I closed my eyes for a minute because I was getting emotional because, you know what I'm saying, we had done split up. And now we in this situation right here and they came back. And you can also see it in her face. You can see it in the car. As we pulling up in the car, you can see the bags under her eyes. That's because she had been crying from being emotional. You feel me? And you see her rubbing the back of my head as we driving because, you know, that's about as physical as we was going to get at that point. So now, as I'm all, you know, sad, pulling away from her, you know, I was kind of putting on for the camera, but I also was kind of sad. You feel me? Because still, this is an emotional time for me because I got to go deal with all this heartbreak and still be around this girl, basically. And then this clown fucking coming out from behind the damn bushes like somebody's supposed to be scared or something. And I know they told him to do that. I know they told him to do that, but I'm just saying. They actually wanted me to make eye contact and look all like, you know, all shocked. And I wouldn't even look up. That's why they ain't got no scene of me looking up, because I had already done seen them there through the corner of my eye. And I said, they trying to play me. I'm not fucking playing into this. So then when she gets out of the car, that's the reason why we don't kiss. You know, any other time we had done kissed each other. You see, all we did was that little ass hug, and that was it. Because we were done. So then after that, I pull off, and they give this little pussy ass hug. Because now by this time, Lindsay is his woman. So that's natural for them at this point. And we're going to stop it right here, all right? Because that's where the scene stopped, all right? So now then, we're going to move on to segment number 2, because that's going to be a short one. We're going to come back and do the last segment. And we're going to press forward, all right? So let's get it. All right, y'all. So we back, and we are back here to do segment number 2 of Lost and Found, all right? So this should be a fun little tidbit. It's going to be a short one, all right? So I ain't even going to, waste nobody's time. Let's just, let's get right into it, all right? Because this should be a little fun one, all right?
I actually wrote you some, so if you don't mind,
Oh,
baby, there's so many things that I want to say to you, but it's so hard to put everything into words. From the very first moment that you reached out to me, I ain't been nothing but the happiest alive. Another thing that me and Lindsay got in common is we're both writers. Like, she can write for days.
That was true. All that was real.
Back,
all that was
everything
real.
About you, from that squeaky ass laugh to that Mississippi Southern
see how
accent
getting emotional in the
yours.
face?
True love is about taking chances, and we both taking chances on each
You know how hard that was?
Hey, baby, I'm trying to sound like Lindsay. Hey, baby, I've been sleeping most of the last day or so.
Hey, baby.
It's Porter mostly. Okay, I'm not gonna sound like Lindsay.
Yeah.
I wish I could call you and ask about your day. Just hear your sexy ass voice. You know, it's passion behind them letters.
I love what you said, and I love what you wrote.
I love you.
I love you.
See, look how awkward it was, right? Sorry, y'all. Well, I told you that was going to be a short little one, right? You know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to stop this right here, all right? I'm going to get through that first time reveal real quick. Because it's something to talk about, but it's really not. But we watched this, all right? So, let me go do the first time reveal with this. Then we're going to come back and get to the juice, all right? So, let's get... All right, so first time reveal for segment number 2 of Lost and Found. As you can see, that was kind of just a talking head, of mine. Again, they gave me a couple talking heads this season. And it was basically me reading a love letter that I had wrote for Lindsay. And that was real. And basically what that was, if you remember on the last review I did, I said that I had got Lindsay something for Valentine's Day. I had got her, a custom-made gift that I got made for her. On top of that, I had wrote her a letter because that used to be my thing, man. Like, writing letters is an easy way to get out what I want to say without sounding awkward as fuck, all right? It's how I'm able to get, like, my full emotions out, basically. And I was real in love with Lindsay, so I wrote her a letter, and I had intended on giving it to her and reading that shit on Valentine's Day when I was trying to get the hell back down there. But I got all this pushback, and then all the bullshit happened. So now it's damn near a month later, and production knows that I got this stuff, because I hadn't planned on bringing that shit at all. Like, I was done with it. I told Lindsay I'm throwing this shit in the trash. And she was like, no, please don't. Production knew I had it, and they wanted me to bring it down and read it to her on camera. And I was like, dang, they about to make me do this shit. Like, that was hard for me to do. But whatever, that's what they wanted. So right after we did the little bed scene and got dressed, that's when they had me sit down. I gave her the gifts that I had for her, and I read that letter to her. And it was hard for me to read that letter. I know I'm smiling because I always smile, but I was shaking. And I was getting emotional, and I had to pause a few times because that was how I really felt at that time in that letter. And it was at a time where I was real in love with Lindsay. And now I'm sitting next to her after she done did what she did. And then I'm reading this to her, and we both getting emotional. That's why if you look closer, you see the way she's looking at me. You know what I'm saying? It's because we both are having a moment right there. So that's what that was. And then, of course, me mocking her voice and shit. And, hey, baby, this They loved it when I did that. Cause I used to be so good at imitating her, basically, you know. And so yeah, that's what that was. That's pretty much all that was. All right. So now then, we're gonna stop that right here. Now we're gonna get to the juice and the bullshit. And you probably gonna hear me talking a whole lot of shit. All right. So let's get to segment number 3 and let's watch it. All right, y'all. So we here, and here it is. Here it is. Segment number 3. Lost and Found. And I gotta say, this is probably the point where I started to say fuck it with these people and get vocal as hell, alright? And you will understand exactly why as soon as I break this motherfucker down. But for right now, let me not even waste no time, alright? Because I got a whole lot to talk about and a whole lot to show, alright? So for right now, let's just watch the madness so I can talk about it, alright? Let's get it. Blaine's house. Ha! Right.
Thank you.
Look at this fucker here. Let me shut up.
So, that's it.
Like, what you asking that for, bro? What you think? You got sex?
Are you into it?
Yeah.
What you think,
Absolutely.
fool?
It's Daonte. Hello?
What's up, baby?
Oh, here we go with this shit here. Here we go.
You can't. You have work.
I can miss another day of work.
No, you can't. No.
I just wanted to know I miss you, man.
Look at this bitch motherfucker. Ooh, let me shut
Thinking
up.
about next time
I know. It'll be soon.
Shut up, D.
Love you.
I love you too, baby.
Bye.
I ain't had time to walk the damn door yet.
I ain't time to walk in the door yet.
He said he's gonna move down here. He says he can do it in like 2 months.
It's good to dream.
Stop being a smart ass.
Motherfucker, like,
Yes,
what
are.
can you, boy?
His finances are really kind of like bad.
Yeah,
like,
tell
I don't
all
agree
my
his credit,
business too,
like
man.
I've been in prison or whatever, but his credit's like 150 points below mine.
How you ever gonna get into a place? You get no credit. You're screwed.
I'm gonna
Bitch,
get a
what
job.
kind of credit you got, fool?
I mean, how'd you feel about possibly working with me?
Right.
See yourself doing some construction? Wouldn't mind me being your boss, would you?
I'm being your boss, would you?
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Oh, you're serious?
Yeah. I don't think Daonte and Lizzie's gonna last at all. She needs a real man. He's soft as butter.
Shut your pussy ass up. What you
I'm gonna work
soft as
construction.
butter?
Yeah.
I'm gonna work for you.
Boy,
Yeah, I've always had a little crush on her, but
I bet you
never
had
did
you
anything
greasy
about it.
motherfucker.
I'm not a homer, but all that's liable to change.
I was liable to find.
Go get your handy woman and quilt.
Oh, here go this shit here.
Again?
Hello?
Ah,
Me too.
Yeah, I missed you already. I don't mean to be bothersome, man.
Yeah,
Voice one more time.
I'm just talking to Blaine. So let me just like talk to him for a few minutes, and then I'll call you back a little bit later today. Love you, bye.
I cannot take it.
I slapped the shit out your ass.
You know, we
dog.
haven't been able to talk all the time, and now he wants to talk all the time. I understand that.
Have you?
Here you go this bullshit.
Explain to
Bullshit.
That kind of
Bullshit. Bullshit. Bullshit right
Not
there.
yet.
Straight up.
Definitely getting to that.
Straight up. Straight up.
Sounds like you're playing slots over there.
When I was in prison, I controlled all the contact that Daonte and I had. It's not like he could call me. I'm used to being the one to reach out to him all the
Oh,
time.
you.
And now the tables have turned.
You think you slick, girl. Whoa.
We have good chemistry.
I can.
We've connected.
Going on just to carry those up.
Yeah, I blow up in your fucking face, pussy. Woo! Excuse my language. I know I was going off. That scene pissed me off so much. Brought back so many memories. So, let me just go ahead and stop it right here, because I'm going to dive deep into that bitch, alright? So, without further ado, let me stop it right here, and let's go on to the first time reveal for that, alright? Woo-wee! Alright, so, as you can see, that scene was intense. As far as I'm concerned, it pissed me off to no end. And here is why. Now then, as you can see, the last time you saw me is when I pull off, basically, and they get that little puss-ass hug to each other, all right? Now then. So this is basically just they scene. And he picking her up, you know, they already together, all right? So they trying to create the illusion that, hey, you know, there's something going on between them. Well, no shit, they're already together. That's why they're so comfortable like that on camera together, all right? Now, this motherfucker just constantly insulting me from the jump. Like, I had no communication with him up to that point. I didn't see them making out and all that. Me and him hadn't had no communication yet. The only time I had spoke to him up to that point was when we was on camera together. You know what I'm saying? So, and I hadn't even spoke on the dude. My angle was all towards Lindsay. So the fact that this dude is sitting up here on camera, throwing shade at me, 20 from the jump, pissed me off to no end. And I didn't even get to see it till it was on TV. Nor did Lindsay tell me. And she would tell me everything else. But she conveniently left that part out. Oh yeah, he's laughing at you and talking shit about you. Yeah, that just left that part smooth out, right? But anyway, this dude that have sex and you know, how you really into him? Like, man, why is you asking all? What you think, dog? Clearly, she is. Now we get to the part that really set me off was these phone calls and me calling her excessively, because it was at this point where I realized what the fuck they was trying to do, and it was pissing me off. Now, yeah, that was my voice. That was me on the phone. Here's what happened with that. As I pulled off, I didn't really leave. All I did was pull it off and went to like that McDonald's and just sat there for a minute until we had to do the next scene. As I'm sitting out there at this McDonald's, this producer, as a matter of fact, as I'm driving on the way to that McDonald's, the producer that's out there keeps asking me to call Lindsay over and over again. And I'm like, I'm not about to keep doing that. Like, I did it the first time. She's like, can you just call her and tell her you miss her? I did that. That's why you got that scene where I was like, I miss you. You know what I'm saying? But then she's asking me to do it over and over again. And I'm giving this pushback because at this point, I see what they're trying to do. Like, I'm not finna keep calling this girl. And the reason why they're trying to do that is because Lindsay has done put it in these people's head that I'm fucking clingy. So now that is what they want. And that's what they're trying to create with me. And I'm not trying to have it. As a matter of fact, you don't believe me, right? If you don't believe me, watch what I'm getting ready to show you. So right here, what you're about to see, I'm gonna stop this reveal mid scene right here. I'm gonna stop it right here. You're about to see a few slides of some text messages between me and this producer where she is begging me to call Lindsay over and over again, and I'm giving pushback. And I'm explaining everything in the slides. So let me stop it right here, and then we're going to press forward, all right? Now, as you can see here, on March 11, 2022, remember when I said they didn't let me see her right away? This is when she's telling me they don't want us to see each other. So this is when I went and visited Angela after the fact. We did not see each other the first night I went back to Mississippi. You see it here for yourself. She was done playing by the rules, but, you know, it just never happened at that point. Right here is when this producer is asking me to call Lindsay. You see, she says, can you call her now and tell her you hate leaving? I did that. So then I said, what do I do now? Then can you call one more time and just say, I'm not trying to bother you, as you saw on the scene. And I put my hand over my head because I'm like, come on, man. What the fuck are y'all doing? And she's like, LOL, sorry, trying to be funny about it. You see it for yourself. Right here, I said, that makes me sound really clingy. Just be sweet. But you did call her a lie. It'll be cute, like you really miss her. I'm like, no, it won't. But okay. She said, just call. You know, I'm like, it's okay. That's why I say it's okay. She's like, you okay? I was like, it's okay. And she's blaming Lindsay, saying it's Lindsay asking me to do this. You see that? She asked me to ask you to do it. So now then, she says, just text her, hey, what are you doing? That's Lindsay asking, not me. She is blaming Lindsay for this. That's why I'm putting my hand over my head like, come on, man. And then I even say, I'm sorry, I really don't want to do that. And she's just pressing me. She asked me to have you, not me, just say hi. So basically, Lindsay is pressing for this shit. And this is why it's pissing me off. You feel me? So then, this is what made me confront Lindsay and say, why do you want me to do that? And that's her response. Because that's what you were on. We're condensing what happened and you were expecting blase, blase. And I said, I wasn't blowing you up constantly like that, though. You just stopped talking to me. And I would ask every so often, is everything okay? And let you be. I was just trying to figure out what made you start to change. But fine, if that's what y'all want, fuck it. And then I just did it. All right, we back now, and that was some tea for your ass, wasn't it? And no, I ain't done yet. Get this smoke up out of here, my bad. Excuse me. I ain't done yet, all right? That was just the beginning, all right? But you saw it for yourself. You saw it for yourself. They are asking me to call this girl back-to-back times, and Lindsay is putting them up to it. You saw it right there in black and white. You ain't got to believe me. The proof is in the pudding. So all that he's clingy is bullshit, basically. All right? Now then, continuing on with this scene. Now, as you can see, the phone calls have been explained. Period. Look at the slides again. Rewind it and go back and look if you want to. That's been explained. So I just debunked that right now. And then here goes this clown with his slick ass fucking comments every time. Uncle, no, bitch, fuck you, dog. That's how I feel about you, buddy. With your damn greasy ass comb over. Anyways, now we get to the part that really pissed me off. That really pissed me off. And I'm talking about those bullshit text messages. That was not me. It was not me. And the reason why that even became a thing is because they tried to get me to do that and I wouldn't do it. I felt like I had done enough with all those phone calls. Not about to send this girl 1,000 text messages. So you know what happens? When you don't do something production wants you to do, they'll make that shit happen anyways. So, and I even told Lindsay, I said, watch, they get some producer to pretend to be me. I know that's what they're going to do. And she knew that was what they was going to do too. And sat there and acted like she didn't know. So then they show all these stupid ass text messages that don't even sound like me. I don't never use that eggplant emoji for a damn thing. I don't talk like I, the letter C, and the letter U. I spell out my shit. I'm a grown man. The hell I look like. And that is the point, that whole episode was to the point that I got vocal as fuck. Okay? I got pissed off. I spazzed out on Lindsay. Lindsay was, credit to her, she defended me and actually, you know what I'm saying, went off, according to her, on production herself. But I spazzed the hell out. As a matter of fact, that is when to the point where I finally got on my Instagram Live and couldn't take it no more. And basically called out the executive producer himself. I didn't name drop him, but I basically said in one of those live videos that I think I done took down or archived at this point. But I basically said that shit comes from the mind of a perverted old white man. And I was dead ass, and I still mean that to this day. You know what I mean? And evidently he caught word of that and got pissed off about it. You know how I know that? Because I'm going to show you some slides, all right? Again, I'm going to pause this one mid-scene too. I'm going to show you something else. And you're going to see for yourself exactly what I'm talking about, all right? So let me stop it right here. Now, as you can see here, around September when this episode has aired and I'm pissed off, Lindsay and I are communicating still. By this time, we're broken up, but we're communicating. And she's telling me how unhappy she is also, and how she has done confronted production about those text messages. Now, we were being trifling at this time, talking to each other behind Blaine and Cece's back, but this was around that time frame. And then right here, this is when she's telling me that the executive producer knows what I said about his ass and that he's coming at her about it because for whatever reason, they kept making it seem like Lindsay was my damn babysitter or something. And instead of them confronting me, you know what I'm saying, like a man, they got to go run and fuss her out. Like, whatever. But you see it for yourself right here once again. All right, now then, we back. I told you I had some tea for you, didn't I? All right. Now, as you can see, what that conversation was with me and Lindsay was a result of me getting vocal and pissed the fuck off about those scenes. You know what I'm saying? Lindsay was either, in my opinion, Lindsay already knew about that, but was playing on my side to keep me satisfied. Because she knows how I am and she knows how nuclear I get, right? And then that was her telling me how the executive producer is all pissed off at her. Or pissed off, but instead of coming at me, you know, goes to her. That's kind of the thing he would do at that time. Now, mind you, around that time, September, while this shit is airing, me and Lindsay are, you know, in that stage where we're being trifling, talking to each other behind Cece and Blaine's back. Because around this time, I'm in a relationship with Cece and she's with Blaine. However, me and Lindsay are still keeping in contact, playing in these people's faces. And she'll never admit that, but I will, you know, and that's just what it was. So now then, continuing on with this bullshit scene, after these BS text messages, this clown gets to throwing all this shade and talking all this shit. I don't think Daonte and Lindsay's gonna last. I bet you won't, pussy. She needs a real man. Yeah, I bet you won't. Because you've been basically creeping up in on my shit from the moment I met you, bro. So yeah, I bet. Soft is butter, man. Define soft, pussy. Define soft. Matter of fact, define a real man. Tell me what a real man is. Because it ain't you, pussy. Okay? Real man got his own shit. Real man got his own place. Real man got his own car. Real man work, make good money. Real man take care of himself. Who is taking care of you right now, buddy? Who house you living in right now? Who cars do you drive, pussy? Don't talk to me about a real man. Just because you think you got some redneck strength, man, get your ass up out of here, all right? Just because you from the South and you think I'm some city boy that ain't about that life. Let me tell you something, dog. I'm from the South too. Don't get it twisted. All right? Matter of fact, he's got to be, everybody like to come at me and call me dumb. This guy has got to be the dumbest motherfucker I've ever seen in my life when it comes to Lindsay and how she operates. Because even I can see it. Even I know. If this guy cannot tell that he is nothing more than an asset to her agenda, basically, I gotta put it out that way, then he's a dumb motherfucker. Because it done already been put out there a time before the things that she's done since he's been with her. And his dumb ass continues to stick around. Because where else is he gonna go? That he's a made man right now, off of the back of Lindsay. Remember that. Lindsay made that motherfucker. I'm self-made. Remember that. All right. But as a matter of fact, him throwing all that shade, just, I'm going to embarrass his ass right here on my channel. I'm going to embarrass both of them, matter of fact. And here's how I'm going to do it. Because in that time frame, in that time period of where Lindsay and me was being trifling, talking behind each other's backs, I find it ironic how I got the clingy moniker put on me and all this shit put on me right here. But then you fast forward a few months later, Lindsay and me are talking, and now it's him that's being the clingy one. It's him. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I ain't even gonna sit up here and talk about it. I'm gonna show it to you. So guess what? You're about to see some more slides in a few minutes, all right? Now, as you can see, this is while the season is airing, and Lindsay and I are being trifling, talking behind our people's backs. This is her telling me she's not getting on my live tonight because she's got to kill Blaine. And I'm telling her, yeah, I'm going through it right now, too, because Cece was yelling at my ass pretty much about the same thing, me letting Lindsay on my lives. And that's why she's like, we both suck, we're both idiots, because we felt like we weren't on the same page with them at the time. This is her telling me, basically, that, hey, he's the clingy one now. You see it. I don't give him enough attention. You see that? I told him you would be a part of my next season. He says y'all will end up fighting. He thinks you will call the police since he knows you so well with the eye rolling emojis. Ain't that some shit? You know what I'm saying? You see this for yourself. And this is my response. I mean, you see him every day, sleep and work with him. How much attention do you really need, bruh? At least I had a reason to be like that. I was 12 hours away. And just because I'm nice don't mean I'm a punk. Like, if he ever put his hands on me, fuck calling the police. But win, lose, or draw, it's going the fuck down. Straight up. And I said, you had the nerve to think I was the needy one, clingy one. You see it. You see it right there. And this right here is another day where she's telling me she's ready to kill everyone and move out and put all her shit in the storage unit because this motherfucker's bitching 24/7, basically. That's why I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I wish I was there for you. But basically, that's what you wanted. So, there it is. You feel me? Like, that. Y'all all seeing this, right? This right here is her sending me a screenshot of his conversation with her, bitching about her being on my live, basically. And yeah, I've sent her screenshots too of my conversations with Cece. So this ain't out of the norm for us. But basically, yeah, bruh, I got your damn screenshots in my phone. That's her complaining about your puss ass while you sitting up here talking about me. And there it is. There it is, his attempt to talk shit. Being considerate, staying up later where you can jump on his shit, where I ain't there arguing with you. Now you're acting like 30 minutes ain't long enough. So you gonna be on an hour with him? Damn, let me know where I can come where I live. He gonna stay out of all my shots, period. I don't know if that was his attempt to be funny or like, whatever, dude. You lame, bro. Like... And oh man, so we back, and you saw that shit, right? You saw it. Punk, don't you ever insult me or try to come for me, all right? You see what you got, okay? You see what you dealing with. Saw it right there. So for everybody that sat up there and gave me so much shit, calling me needy, clingy, all this, that, and the third, you see for yourself who created that shit. You see for yourself that the same thing that was put on me has now been put on the person that she with now. So all y'all can go to hell that tried to put that on me. I've been waiting so long to get that out. And I'm glad I was finally able to do it, all right? And for this punk motherfucker to try to ever insult me and try to say I ain't a real man or what, fool, you look like fucking Ernest Goes to Camp mixed with Jeffrey Dahmer, mixed with this motherfucker on my shirt right here. That's what you look like. How dare you? Do something with that greasy ass comb over up under that head of yours. That's the only thing soft is that bald spot up under that comb over yours, bro. Soft as butter. But anyways, that's it for like my first time reveal. I'm sorry I had to break it up into like 3 different parts, but 3-4 different parts, however many I did. But shit, man, I had a lot of tea to spill on that one. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. So I'm gonna stop this right here. We're gonna go to do my final thoughts, all right? And we're gonna press forward, all right? So let's get it. Right, so final thoughts for this episode right here. This is the episode that pissed me off, all right? This is when the bullshit started and basically where my downfall began. Like, this is when I really feel like, all right, they're going to do everything in their power to push me up out of here and press forward with them. That's when I seen the writings on the wall that they're about to phase me out and move forward with that clown. Because, truth be told, he is the safe bet between the two of us. Truth be told, Lindsay wanted me to continue on to be on the last season that she was just on with her and Blaine. That's why you saw in that text message it say, or in that video, that message from Messenger, basically it says, you know, I told Blaine you're going to be on my next season. Because that's what she wanted. She wanted me on that season with her and Blaine, basically, and to basically be what it was at the time, which was me and him going back and forth fighting over her. But see, the thing about it was, Cece was around and Cece was involved. And Lindsay didn't want Cece to be a part of this. So I'm like, if you want this to be the real shit, then it has to be the real shit. You can't just have me and him going at it back and forth over you when you know damn well you and her don't like each other because of me. You feel me? But obviously it didn't work out like that for a variety of reasons. And I'll get to that, you know, when we get there. But for now, I'm going to leave it right here. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all enjoyed all the tea. Like I always say, hit that like button, hit the notification bell, leave your comments down below, subscribe, and as always, don't ever hesitate to dive into it with D, all right? I'm out.